Well, first of all, you were there.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, it goes back about maybe a dozen years or so, right?
Yeah. When I was a pod. Started making music. I was in high school. I always loved music. I love things like Graceland and Paul Simon stuff and Beatles particularly. But when I was in high school, I started, like, everybody around me seemed to, like, really gravitate towards guitar and play and, like, music all of a sudden, and I thought that was crazy because it was just like, oh yeah, music's great. And then like my friend Becca bought me the first Foo Fighters album at for Christmas at a Christmas party when I was a teenager.
Cool.
And I was like, oh, these are like esoteric pop songs almost. I could get into that, and then I just started sort of writing from the ground up. I taught myself how to play drums. I locked myself in the band room after school and just stole a pair of drumsticks and stayed there until my dad picked me up for like 4 hours. Nice. And just would listen to my iPod and play along to stuff, and by the end of the year I could play. And then at the same time I just taught myself guitar.
Gotcha.
And I just sort of went from there.
Yeah, and in the meantime with your band, the Color Flies, you've played some great shows over the years.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Worked with some amazing producers and
Oh
engineers,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's been a crazy, like, roller coaster ride from like when we started to when we're playing, jamming on Posey's riffs, being like, this is, the greatest thing in the world, and then just like to be produced by a Posey or even have both Poseys at one point, on the record is just mind blowing. But we opened for them as well, and it's just kind of wild, You never think you're gonna be hanging out in a hotel room, or like a hotel, just listening to like crazy celebrity stories from your heroes. But if you work hard enough, maybe, just maybe, you can do it.
Yeah, and if you can meet your heroes and get along with them and find out they're cool people, that's a big bonus.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it goes the wrong way, which it has. So, but you live and learn, and
true.
The music was always there, and the music's the most important thing.
Right, and speaking of that, we have another track that you brought in called "Drive Me Wild," and is this off the forthcoming album?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
It's so this is a story of. I recorded this when I was we recorded this maybe we were 23 or something like that, when we were making the record that I was on the bus.
Oh yeah, that's a story.
This is an outtake from those sessions,
okay.
From the Kid Tested era, and nobody knows that record because it didn't chart internationally like the actual Killer Flies album, the last one. So nobody knows that record because it was limited, wasn't on a label, but you do.
Right.
And
that was about 2014, I want to say.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. And this is just an outtake from those sessions, and we love the Vanity 6 song, and so we kind of wanted to, make it rock a little bit, but then keep the Vanity 6 kind of female feeling with the vocals and stuff like that. But anyway, that aside, we recorded this late one night, and I think when we probably did Diamond Dolls too, which is like one of our biggest songs, which is a Alvin and the Chipmunks cover.
All right.
I should have brought that in. But
if you bring it on vinyl, maybe we could play it at 16 2/3 speed.
Oh yeah, please.
The half speed.
Please do.
Chipmunk.
I would love that. So we recorded this, and it just was shelved. I hadn't heard it since we recorded it. Since back then.
Oh wow.
And then I was talking to Weston from the Finns. I was like, do you still have that cover, the Drive Me Wild? And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, no, it's gone forever.
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay, it's gone. It's fine, I get it. It's probably pretty bad anyway, right? And if we didn't do anything with it at all. And then he's like, dude, you'll never guess what? I found it on like a backup drive, and a bunch of stuff's on there. But I found this, and he sent it to me, and I like love it. I think it's great. It should have been put out before.
Yeah, man. There's a lot to be said for the Easter egg of a rediscovered hard drive.
And it's Prince, man. Prince and Vanity 6. So.
Nice. All right. So this is "Drive Me Wild" from the Color Flies, a little tune from back in the day. Matthew Lagarde here live in the studio on KYRS, Thin Air Community Radio, for the love of the music.